Hello, folks. How's it going? I don't know if you've noticed. You probably haven't. I've been away for a long while. I keep having these periods of being away for long periods of time, and I don't know why I haven't been on here. I've just been distracted with, as I've mentioned before, everything that's going on at the minute, and I've been so distracted with it. I was supposed to review the film I'm going to review tonight. I was supposed to review it about a month ago when I watched the film. I just haven't. I don't know why. I just haven't been in the mood to do anything. And it's, like I said, I should have done this a month ago when the film was fresh in my mind. But I haven't. And I've just been. I don't know. I've been in a bit of a weird headspace. You know, the world's in a weird place at the minute, and my head's in a weird space. And I just got to try and get back into it now. So I'm going to do a film tonight that I watched about a month ago. And it was a good film. Yeah, it was good. Really good film. Very, what would be the word? With limited, I've lost my words. The film was basically, took place in one room. Pretty much just in one room. Now that sounds a bit, when you say that, it sounds like it's not going to be up to much. But I've found out from experience in the past of watching films that have literally just been set in one location that they can be similar. They can be very, very good films. Take, for example, Phone Booth, if anyone's seen that. Colin Farrell, I think it was 2002. It's literally pretty much almost all set in a street with him in a phone booth. But the films, it was awesome. And then there was another film a few years ago with Ryan Reynolds called Buried, and it was, again, I think it was all set in a coffin, a guy that had been buried alive. And it went through the ordeal of that. But that, again, I thought I'll watch it. I went to watch that at the cinema. I used to have a cinema pass where you could go, you pay a certain amount a month and you go as often as you want. And sometimes back then I had free time, I'd spend all day in the cinema. Anyway, yeah, and also there was another one called 127 Hours. I think it was James Franco, about a fella that goes hiking, he falls down a crevice and gets his hand trapped in under a boulder. It's a true story. And he has to cut his own arm off to free himself. But that, again, it wasn't just set there, but majority of it was, and it was a really good film. And so this film, it isn't about being trapped. Well, actually, no, it is. I was about to balls at me. Yeah, it is actually about being trapped in a room, but not in the same way. But it was a film. 3 minutes in, I'm only just telling you the name of the film. You would have seen it by the title anyway. But it was a film called PontyPool. When it started, I recognised the fella that was the main character. I can't actually remember what I've seen him in, but I know I've seen him in stuff, and I like him. And his name, I looked afterwards. See, I watched this a month ago, and if it had been fresh, I could have told you some of the other things he'd been in, but I can't. But I do remember his name, and it's Stephen McHattie. And it's basically a story about, he's driving to work one day. He's a radio station. He's a DJ. He works in a radio station. This some really like cold town. It's like snow and that, and blizzards, and he's driving to work one day. I'm actually, you know what? I'm not going to go into massive detail. I just want to give you the rough outline of what it is. So he goes into work one day, and he gets a report from one of his reporters out in the field in the town, PontyPool. Yeah, I think the town was called PontyPool. Yeah. Jesus Christ, this is the problem with doing it a month later, isn't it? I feel like I'm not doing it justice. I'm not doing you lot a service that will listen to this. Yeah, the town was called PontyPool, and basically what happens is the reporter suddenly starts reporting on weird things that are going on. People are doing weird things, and they're acting like animals, and they're it's like so basically they are zombified. They're zombies, but there's more to the film than just zombies. You don't see any of this stuff the reporter's talking about. You just hear him over the radio, over the wire, talking about it, and it creates such an atmosphere with just some fella describing what he's seeing, and the reactions and the facial reactions and the of the people that are listening. And because this guy is a DJ, and then there's two women with him, who obviously probably is producer, and I can't remember the other girl. He's a researcher. And it creates such a good atmosphere, like a dread-filled atmosphere, which is great. But anyway, it's just a story that's played out by this reporter about what he's seen, and the town's like, these things are happening, bad things are happening, and the residents are acting very strange, and then he sees them like eating people, and he's trapped, and he's talking quiet on the phone because these people are these zombies have got him. You know, they don't know he's there, but he's trapped. He can't get out. And it's such a good little story, just set in the room of a radio station. But what it transpires is, if you don't want to know what's going on, turn off now. But what's actually going in is there's some kind of virus, and they don't know they don't know the origin of it. But there is little what was it? They give you the idea that its origin is coming from either like another dimension or from outer space, or you know what I mean? Like it's the oh fuck me, I don't know. I'm fluffing this. Anyway, you get the idea, right? But there's the virus. The virus is hidden in language, in certain words that you say. Not all words, but just certain words. So gradually through the film, certain other people become infected, and they don't know why. And it turns out it's through language. But it's got real. It does gesture towards it being like an other dimensional sort of phenomena. I mean, you don't know where it's coming from, and you don't know why it's happening, and you don't really know how this is going to end up. And that is basically it. I'm not going to go into loads of details, but is that noise annoying? I'm tapping on the flipping. But yeah, that's basically it. But like I said, that was on a list of was that on the list that Galansky gave me? I don't know if it was, actually. I think I discovered that myself. But yeah, a lot of other people, I go searching for this stuff, and I found that somebody's saying, yeah, this is Lovecraftian. And I did a quick read up about it, and I'm thinking, zombies. There's nothing less, well, say nothing less Lovecraftian, but you've got to take into Herbert West Reanimator into account there. But I always consider zombies to be so far from Lovecraft that, I just avoid them. So when I read that, I had to read on, and people were saying, yeah, don't just take it for a zombie film, because there's so much more to it. There's deeper connotations, and there's a lot more behind it than just a zombie film. So yeah, watch it. Definitely watch it. And don't expect big budget or anything. You know what I mean? It's literally just set in a room in a radio station. But it's just another one to the long list of films that are set in one location that you think they won't be up to much, but they are. And it was a good film, and I highly recommend it. So I'll leave it there. Thanks for listening. I don't know when I'll be back with another one, because I'm like I said, I'm trying to break myself out of this headspace that I'm in. And I only did this because I'm sat here, and I just thought, I came to think of it right now, and I thought, no, do it. Because if I don't do it now, my memory of the film will become so, the memory will get so lost that I'll end up either not doing it, or I'll have to watch it again. I probably would watch it again at some point anyway, but probably not for a couple of years. And who knows, I might not have a YouTube channel in a couple of years. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Thanks for listening. Cheerio for now. Before I go, actually, I had gone then. Before I go, I just wanted to say something about what's going on in the world right now. This fucking virus nonsense. I've seen, like, I don't care. I'm past the point now of it's weird that I'm talking about a film, The Virus, as well. This is just, and also a virus that is spread through language. Because the shit that is being pushed on the public at the moment, in the words that are being spoken and printed in the paper, the certain buzzwords that are being used to condition us to think a certain way and act a certain way. Yeah, it's, you know what I mean? I am past the point of giving a fuck what anyone else thinks right now. I'm so fucking angry about all this shit. I've made a video of this before and it was playing with my head and I wasn't sleeping. The same is still true, but I've stopped watching any kind of news. I mean, I don't watch the news anyway, but I used to watch it. I used to sit down and watch. Used to like to put the mainstream news on, just have a little cackle at it, have a laugh at it. But it got to me that much that I'm not even looking at anything that's going on now. But I'm past the point now of giving a shit what anyone thinks. I was pretty like clammed up about it, about not, I think this is nonsense, but I can't say it because there's too many people who've got looking at it through an emotional lens and this is really bad and believing everything the news tells you. There is so much more evidence. There's so much evidence out there that points in the opposite direction of this being a complete and utter fucking fraud. That, like I said, I'm past the point of giving a shit. If any of you out there disagree with me, I don't mind, but don't be writing, don't be sort of having a, well, you're free to do what you want, but I don't give a fuck. I'm past the point of giving a fuck. I did give a fuck when it started, because when you first get the first information coming through and you're thinking, shit, there's some deception going on here. I say some, I mean fucking loads. Oh, shit, my battery's running out. I better wrap this up. But when I'm finding hope in talking to other people and realising that there's a lot more people than you think that are not buying this shit. And I think this is the reason why I'm not been making videos. I've just, like I said in that video, my head hasn't been right. And I'm struggling to deal with this because we're getting more and more shit pushed on us every day with these fucking masks and fucking social distancing. I call it anti-social programming. But, wash your hands and all that bollocks. I mean, who doesn't wash their hands anyway, for fuck's sake? And right, I go to a fucking climbing club, indoor climbing. I like doing that. I go indoor climbing, yeah, and it's been shut since March. I had an email through the other day saying they're reopening. And then it went in to tell you how it was going to be different in our new normal. I fucking hate that. I fucking hate that fucking word, new normal. It ain't fucking normal. It won't be fucking normal. Unless you bunch of cunts out there fucking accept it as your new normal, which I hope you don't. Please don't accept it as your fucking new normal. Okay? It's bullshit. Anyway, I got this fucking email through from my climbing club. And some of the shit they're going to fucking try and make us do, I don't know if I want to go back. The only reason I would go back now is because my fucking kids like going. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to deprive them of it, but if it was up to me, I'd be like, fuck you, I ain't coming back, and it's for these reasons. What they want to do is, you've got to give your name, well, they can have your name anyway, but they want you to sign in and sign out so that they can have an accurate knowledge of who was in the building at certain times in case it comes to contact tracing. Where the government want to fucking ring you and say, you must quarantine because you've been near this, but fuck off, mate. I ain't doing that. I'm starting to lose it now just talking about it. Yeah, they're thinking about taking temperature checks at the fucking door. What if I fucking run to the climbing wall that day and I get there and they won't let me in because I'm fucking hot? Knobbit. They want you to, they're going to insist on having personal hand sanitizer on you at all times, which you can buy from them or whatever. Yeah, fuck off. You're not allowed to climb on the wall. Whatever. There's ropes in certain sections on the wall where you climb. They're not going to let you climb next to someone else, which means it's going to be really limited in there now. Just shit like that. And it's just fucking ludicrous. The shit that they're fucking coming out with. Now, whoever you lot, I know Glansky's from America, but you lot have all been, well, I think you're all, I don't know if it's different counties, different states have different laws, but you're all being subjected to fucking wearing masks every time you go in a fucking shop or anywhere in public. I see that shit on the fucking news and I'm drifting between worrying about it and fear and fucking anger. Because I ain't wearing a fucking mask. All you got to do is search out certain doctors that are coming out of the woodwork and saying the truth about saying the harm that wearing a mask, a healthy person wearing a mask for a prolonged period of time or whatever, it's so bad for your health. And this shit's being pushed on us by fucking mainstream doctors and politicians and fucking... I see a fucking clip of Tom Hanks this morning. I think it was quite an old one, a few weeks old actually, of him, because he supposedly fucking had it, didn't he? Did he fuck? Nor did Boris fucking Johnson. Load of old shit. Nor did Prince Charles. You can go fuck yourself, Prince Charles, mate. I'm telling you. I'll tell you what, mate. You people out there listening to me now are seeing a different side, but I'm so angry about this. I shouldn't really start talking about this, but too bad. I'm there now. But, I mean, maybe some of you sitting there going, oh, no, how can he say that? Or how can someone think that? Well, the news tells you that bollocks, mate. I've seen so much fucking evidence. And I can't sit here. I haven't got the kind of brain that can sit here now and reel off all the evidence. But it's out there if you want to find it. There's so much fucking evidence. But anyway, what was I saying? Fuck me, I don't know what I was saying. I saw an interview with Tom Hanks saying, I find it hard to believe that certain people don't believe it or don't take it seriously. You've got to do your duty and wear your mask, keep your distance, wash your... Like, fuck off, mate. You're a fucking puppet. You're a fucking puppet, mate. I used to like you, but I dislike celebrities more than fucking ever now because they're just showing their true colours. And they're dirty scumbags who try and tell us how to live our fucking lives whilst they don't do any of that. They don't practice what they preach. They're all fucking puppets, mate. I'm telling you. I better end this because maybe I should just do a video about this and talk about this anyway. Maybe I should start a new channel just fucking getting this off my chest. Because I started the Lovecraft channel because I wanted to talk about this stuff and get it off my chest. Maybe I should do something, another channel getting this off my chest because I've got so much to fucking say. Even though some of it don't make sense, it fucking makes me feel better. And until you speak your mind, you don't realise, you don't find out who else out there thinks the same, thinks like that, I went to the health food shop the other week with my brother in town to buy some, some vitamin C and some vitamin D and some zinc and just the tablets, like things I take to try and keep some level of health in my life. And the people that work in there and some of the other customers, it was fantastic being surrounded by people that... I don't want to live in an echo chamber. I don't think anyone needs to think the same, but I've been surrounded by fucking dickheads that buy the fucking mainstream news. And to be somewhere with people that have opened their eyes a little bit and can see what the fuck's going on, even to a slight level, even if it's to a slight level, it's therapeutic. It's cathartic, being around people that don't walk around with their eyes shut. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there because I can't think what I want to say next. So I think I'll leave it. I've said enough. Thanks for listening. I'm sure some of you aren't listening right now because you would have started to listen to the review and then I've gone into this and you'd have probably thought, fuck this. But those of you that are listening and do feel the same, keep hope, mate. Keep hope because there's the amount of people that think like this is growing every day. So, yeah. Keep the faith. We're going to get there. Anyway, over and out for now. See you later.